Hello everybody, I'm Steve and I'm happy to welcome you to my visions. I thought, why not look at history from today's perspective and the whole thing out there in the desert. So I first have to create some dunes and set the camera perspective. And who do you think lives out there? Yes, a herd of camels, of course. Strictly speaking, dromedaries. Nicely formed dunes are important to establish a believable desert feeling. But there also has to be this somehow heat-glowing sky. And the dunes must get a surface structure that really looks like sand. I try my best and tweak the settings quite long. When I change the light, the look of the sand dunes also changes. So it is an artistic struggle. To represent a real herd of camels, I have to place some more of them. In order to achieve an interesting distribution, I examine the scene over and over again. It's just a feeling. And in order to let them look less static, they get variations such as neck or leg movement. The construction of a pyramid can easily take about 20 years. In old Egypt, specialized workers, but also farmers, built these monuments. But in this case, I did it all on my own. The viewer should have the impression that forces of time and erosion removed the perfection, but left the glory and dignity. With regard to lighting and positioning, the building must now be integrated into the scene. The surface needs visual structures so that it looks believable from a distance. Even far away, the pyramid is huge. My feeling says that the background needs more sand dunes. And the camels get more details and contrast. Now the break of the pure desert romance comes into place. First, I put in a forklift truck. Second, a big fridge obstructs the view. To find the right position for the icebox isn't as easy as I thought. And here comes an old armchair. And again, I moved the large cooling device a little. It has to be perfect, but of course it will never be. Perhaps the workers, or maybe even the tourists, are obvious fans of classic US drinks without alcohol. So they also need a decent garbage can. I search for the right position and make it wide open, with its lid placed on the side. Yes, I am afraid too, but the amount of strangely shiny and old-fashioned garbage continues to grow. Deserts do not tend to have a happily cloudy sky. I think the atmosphere must appear rather dusty. Then I think of a crazy item in the foreground. Perhaps a cactus in a pot looks a kind of unbelievable. Yet again, still more of the reddish, annoying aluminum cans. The desert air needs the typical dust particles which make distances visible. I prepare the skyline of a big city. After removing the background, I make it wider. Perfection will not be necessary. Then the city is placed in the background to round up my desert with broken romance. Now I take a closer look at the brightness and contrast values. To guide the eyes, some areas should be darker, some others brighter. Only small adjustments make all the difference in the end. In my opinion, the picture comes to life a little bit more. The camel gets more details and looks less flat. Again, I work on the vignette where it is easy to overdo. As camels can't fly very well, they normally step in these little footmarks. I use a bunch of methods and helpers to change the overall look. Shifting colors and the detail contrast is not necessary, but sometimes you have a strong urge to do this. I do not apply the changes everywhere, but choose these areas to my personal liking. Again, I work on the vignette, and yes, I'm still hoping not to overdo. So take a look. What do you think? Then I inspect some heavy effects. I am looking for more dust because we are in the middle of these masses of sand. But in this case, I decide to be really very subtle with this change. Now the final touch is going on. Don't ask me what I'm doing. It's all about feeling. And here we are. The cactus needs to be a little lighter. That's it. Done.